Hey everyone, it's Cory and Taylor. Today we're going to talk about what the biggest opportunity that we're seeing in the market right now for buyers, and we're going to talk about how sellers can position their home to get the best offer moving into this spring market. Before we get into that, we're going to talk about a little market recap with some of the numbers we saw from December to January. And so let's go ahead and dive into that, but definitely stick around when we talk about those opportunities for buyers and sellers. So Taylor, why don't you jump in and let's talk a little bit about what we saw in the Grayson County housing market as a whole, and just kind of sum up what that's looked like over the past couple months.
Yeah, so looking at Grayson County as a whole, we are up nearly 8% from January of 2023 to January of 2024.
And that's for units sold, right?
Yeah, so
Okay, yeah.
units sold over the last year are up nearly 8%. And then when we're looking at units month to month, though, they are actually down from December to January.
Okay.
And then looking at the median sales prices, so looking at it from a yearly standpoint, we're up nearly 11% from last year to this year. So the median sales price in Grayson County right now is right at $299, almost $300,000. And then again, that's from a yearly standpoint, but when you look at it from month to month, it's actually started trending downwards a little bit. So if you're looking at the past 3 months, we're down almost 2%.
Okay.
So we are kind of seeing some, price decreases slowly as we go on month to month in the last few months.
Gotcha. Okay. And then also talking about the Sherman market, units sold is up 84% from January of 2023 to January of 2024. And that seems like a big percentage, which it is. There was 32 transactions. There was only 32 transactions in January of 2023, and there's 59 in January of 2024. Whenever you look at it from December to January, it was fairly flat. There was, basically this, I think it was 1 or 2 transaction difference. And then whenever you look at the year over year sales price from January 2023 to January 2024, the sales price was actually up 20% at $293,000 for the median sales price. However, whenever you look at it from the trailing 3 months, going from December into January, it was actually down around 6%. So one of the things that contributes to that is obviously interest rates and what buyers' payments would be. And so we did pull numbers off of Mortgage News Daily. These are what they're saying that today's rates are for a 30-year conventional mortgage is 7.11%, 30-year FHA mortgage 6.62%, and that can drastically affect a buyer's payment, which kind of brings us into what we were talking about, the biggest opportunity we see right now for buyers. And why don't you go ahead and just jump into what that is?
Yeah, so something I've been seeing a lot of buyers kind of gravitate to recently has been new construction homes. So we talk about the, average conventional rate right now being over 7%. I've seen a lot of builders offer some really crazy incentives with closing on new construction. So that could be a lower interest rate, and I'm talking about significantly lower, because they're keeping it in-house with their lender there. So if you get approved with their lender and use them to close, they're offering some pretty, great options as far as a lower rate. They're also offering incentives for money towards closing. So I've even seen it where they offer both. They may offer a lower rate and these, money towards closing, but a lot are offering a pretty significant amount at closing to use. You may be using it to buy down a rate. You could use it to go towards your closing costs. But they're just offering a ton of stuff out right now.
I've even seen them offer, like, if you want upgrades in the home, basically they're covering the cost of those upgrades too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. They're doing a lot of stuff right now. So that's definitely something I've been telling my clients too, because a lot of people don't know that there are a lot of smaller local builders. And, they may not see them advertised if they're not on the MLS or whatever the case may be, but there's a lot of great deals going on with new construction right now for buyers in this market.
Yeah. So if you are thinking about new construction, or if you're just thinking about buying, definitely reach out to Taylor, because she knows all the ins and outs with the local builders, as well as some of the larger builders that we have in this area. But so that is one of the biggest opportunities we're seeing right now in the real estate market is new construction. It's a new home. You don't have to worry about it. The stuff is under warranty. It's a great deal.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, with what we've talked about, mortgage rates are still up there. Buyers realize that they have a little bit of negotiating power. If you're a seller right now, the best thing that you can do for yourself to position your listing where you get the best offer is to price your home correctly from the get-go. A lot of sellers are like, well, let's just put it let's go really, really high on price and see what happens. And I know what happens. I've had tons of listings where we've tried that. I've seen other people try that, and it's going to sit on the market. Buyers are going to think, nope, my monthly payment's too high. I'm not willing to pay extra. I'm not willing to bring extra cash if it doesn't appraise. And they're really, buyers are very educated on what's going on in the market right now.
Yeah, for sure.
And so pricing your home right from the get-go is going to be huge, but also making sure that the property condition is what these buyers are looking for is another key component of that. And what I mean by that is like making sure that, maybe you need to paint the house. Maybe you need to update the countertops or the fixtures. Maybe change out the 20-year-old carpet that hasn't been, and the truth is, in the previous 3-4 years, you could get away with not doing that stuff, and buyers were willing to pay because interest rates were so low.
Yeah.
And it just didn't, they were just lucky to get a house.
Yeah.
It's shifted, and buyers are definitely conscientious about those things. And it could be the smallest little thing that turns them off, and they're not willing to make an offer on the house, is what I'm seeing. So.
Yeah, they definitely know that they can afford to be a little bit pickier right now. And you saying, it's hard to look past that because in recent years they didn't have to do those upgrades. It's the same thing with the current market now. Like, let's be honest, homes are sitting longer right now because of those interest rates. So when you talk about pricing your house correctly, you kind of have to tell your seller up front, don't be alarmed if it does sit 2 to 4 months where, as before they were thinking, oh, it's going to sell within a week.
Yeah.
If you're overpricing it from the get-go, you're just adding time onto that.
Right.
So especially in this market, if, you're in a situation where you're wanting to sell and you're wanting to sell quickly, you already have the chance that it's going to sit there a little bit longer. So you want to make sure you have it priced from the get-go so that you're not adding any additional time to that.
Exactly. Well, there you have it, everybody. If you are thinking about buying or selling, everybody's situation is different. It pays to consult with a professional like Taylor or myself. We'd love to walk you through the steps of buying, selling, or both. And thank you guys for checking out this video. Be sure and reach out to us. Share this with somebody who's thinking about transacting in 2024. We hope you're doing well, and we'll talk to you soon.